You know, Stranger Things isn't just a show, it's a giant puzzle, one that starts revealing its secrets long before we even notice. And Som Temesti's story was right in front of our eyes today. We're looking at 16 moments where Stranger Things quietly predicted its own future, and trust me, some of these will hit you harder than Vecna's theme. Remember those creepy drawings we kept making at first? They just looked like trauma, but in reality, they were the earliest cries for help. The mind flayer was already haunting him, long before Anon believed him. Will was never safe, not even in season 1. Every time 11 pushed herself, every blee, every shake, was the show telling us power has a cost, and one day she paid the biggest one. A tiny box labeled New York. We ignored it. But Hopper's past it was already written and already breaking him. Joyce wasn't crazy, those lights weren't random. This was the Upside Down, calling out desperate. Angry Alive-Destine thought it was cute, but dark was a message. The Upside Down doesn't give gifts. It takes them. Her intro showed it fast, strong, alone. Season 4 wasn't her running from Vecna, it was her entire life finally catching up to her. Boys joked about monsters, but the arcade screen was a mirror. The final boss was coming back, than just a scared girl trying to sound brave now. She's the one facing them without flinching. His storms, his rage, his pain. The show wasn't subtle. He was always meant to break. Season 1, Steve, the cool guy, the idiot, the boyfriend, but the moment he held that bat, his role changed forever ago. Waffles weren't just food, they were her freedom and her loneliness, a symbol of a girl searching for home from day 1. The dust felt wrong. Later, we learned it was death floating in the air. Before she even met Steve, the pieces were falling into place. Some people enter your life by accident, some the universe pushes them together. Everyone laughed at him, but he wasn't crazy. He was the only one actually listening. One line, one moment, and years later, when she had nothing, she remembered. I'm the superhero. Season 1 D&D wasn't just a game, it was prophecy. Friendships growing apart, hearts breaking, lives changing. The party did split, not because of monsters, but because they grew up. Stranger Things wasn't just telling a story, it was whispering warnings, foreshadowing moments, preparing us for heartbreak long before it came. If you felt even one of these hit differently, then Stranger Things did its job, because think about the moments that stayed with you. Scott. It below is a detailed emotional explanation of EACH famous scene and plot twist. I mentioned written in descriptive cinematic voiceover style, not robotic, not academic, and not book-like. That bathroom scene wasn't just gross or shocking, it was terrifying because it confirmed something worse than death. The Upside Down had already entered, while everyone thought the danger was over once he came home. But that single moment proved the truth. You don't escape trauma just because you survived. If the monster didn't need claws anymore, it lived inside him. This scene quietly set up the Mind Flayer arc, possession, and the idea that Will would never truly be free. Bob wasn't a fighter, he wasn't part of the party, he was just someone who chose to be brave for one moment. Stranger Things let us believe kindness and courage were enough, and then it took him away. That twist mattered because it changed the tone of the show forever. It told us the rules had changed. Not everyone gets saved in it, every good choice leads to a happy ending. Bob's death wasn't just shocking, it was the show growing darker. Just like the characters, Billy spent most of his time as a villainous, angry, cruel, broken, but in his final moments, when he remembers his mother, when he looks at 11 and sees her pain reflected in his aunt, makes a choice. That twist hurts because it proves something powerful. Even the most damaged people still have humanity left inside them. Billy's sacrifice wasn't redemption for the audience. Vec was redemption for himself. This wasn't just a chase scene, it was grief made physical. Max wasn't running from a monster, she was running from depression, guilt, and the belief that she deserved to die. When the music starts, when her memories pull her back, scene becomes one of the most emotional moments in the entire series. The twist wasn't that she escaped, the twist was that love, a Marian connection, became weapons. That moment redefined how the show handled horror. Hopper's storyline was never about strength, it was about endurance. Every beating, every failure, every moment he stood back up was proof that survival isn't heroic, it's painful, it's lonely, and it costs everything. The twist here wasn't that he lived, it was that he refused to stop fighting. Gavin, when hope felt pointless. Hopper represents the idea that love can keep you alive even in hell. For the first time, 11 wasn't special, no powers, no advantage, just a scared girl. This twist was devastating because her abilities were her identity. Without them, she had to face the world as she truly was. Vulnerably, it forced her to realize something important. Their worth was never in what she could do, but in who she was. That moment prepared us for her final evolution. The Upside Down doesn't reset, it expands. Every season made it clearer that evil doesn't disappear when it spreads, it adapts, it waits. The twist here is subtle but brutal. Hawkins wasn't being invented, was being consumed in. That meant the endgame was always going to be bigger than one town. This is the quietest twist and the most painful. No monsters, no mute distance. The party splitting apart reflects real life. Friends grow up, paths change. Jan Sumataimu, don't notice the last time you were all together. Stranger Things warned us about this from season 1. The D&D games, the foreshadowing, the slow emotional drift. This wasn't just a plot choice, it was the truth. None of these scenes were random, they were earned, built, slowly long before they happened. That's why they hurt, that's why they stay with us. Stranger things didn't surprise you, sit prepared. Us, and when the moments finally come, you felt them because the show had already planted them deep inside us. If you're a true Stranger Things fan, you already felt every moment we talked about. Subscribe to Star Gossips for more stories that hit deeper than the upside down.